Hi, this is Meredith Lego, and I am doing a set of channeled teachings from Ascended Master Hilarion. In the last several videos, I've been focusing on sharing content from channelings that I received from Master Hilarion going back to kind of 2019, 2020, and it isn't a book format, but I'm finally starting to share them now in YouTube. And I wanted to parking that for a little bit to share some recent content that I've been asking really over the last couple weeks, having to do with kind of recent events that have come up that seem to be coming more into the consciousness of humanity. And wanted to ask about that and then share what I learned, which I thought was pretty interesting. So this particular question had to do more of a lot of changes that seem to be going on. What we see in terms of changes, let's say, over the next several years. So the question that I asked is, what can you tell me about the system changes we will or could experience? And this is kind of more of a forward-facing question, obviously. So the question that I got, or the answer that I got, is disruption is ahead, for change and ascension of consciousness always sheds off old ways and systems, just as a snake sheds its skin. The financial system will be liberated from fiefdom and servitude. Through energy, forms of taxation fall away, for they are indentured servitude. So it sounds like that's going to be a pretty significant change. Then I asked, what will be the new equivalent financial system, fiat type or another system? And the answer is, the power is in the energy exchanges, not the form. So I think this is pretty interesting, that it doesn't really necessarily have to do about sort of money per se. Money, or what we've experienced as money, or even kind of the credit card system, is really meant to be an exchange of energy. So he goes on to say, let go of old perceptions on how energy can be transferred. Thought alone is magnified by thrills of exchange. A quantum system keeps debits and credits of energy exchange, and has since inception of the hologram quantum source field. This is the law of cause and effect. And so when I was kind of writing this down as I was channeling it, that I never really thought of money that way, or sort of energy exchange that way, but it kind of makes perfect sense. I mean, if you kind of go back to the thoughts about kind of karma, there's basically a swap of energy. We kind of think about the transfer of kind of goods that we buy and sell as being sort of goods, but they, in a sense, are also a transfer of energy. And so what he's implying here is that really it's a quantum system, and it's really been around for a long time. And if you think about it as debits and credits of energy exchange, it's been around in sort of our holographic quantum or source field from the beginning, and kind of comes up in the form of cause and effect. He goes on to say that those who give more freely with no expectation of return are compensated appropriately, even if nothing was requested. For wealth in the currency is measured in intention, not in gold or barter. So I'm assuming that that's kind of what we're going towards. He goes on to say that over time, currencies disappear and a simpler form of energy exchange with measurement through a quantum calculator is activated. And this is probably very similar to the concept of debits and credits, but perhaps maybe we see that calculator a little bit more going forward. Technologies are widely and immediately dispensed or dispersed for transparencies at the center of all exchanges. For you see, in a quantum system, there can be no secrets for power and manifestation. Intentions are measured in all energy exchanges. Those with the purest hearts to be of service will be the rich. manipulated or distorted versions of service that are really built or masked for personal gain and opulence will not be tolerated. Certainly, beings have the free will to circulate energy in this way, but the return will no longer yield the fruits of riches and wealth as in the past. So I thought that was interesting because it seems that we're going to more of a system that somehow is more connected into our intentions, and I guess we'll kind of see how that ultimately plays out with enabling us to sort of buy or sell goods. But, it seems that the idea of kind of what we're intending, what we're feeling, what we're about to take to action, sort of our vibrational frequency, if you will, becomes more significant going forward in terms of its linkage to the financial system, which is pretty interesting. Then this is on a slightly different topic, but it was part of the same channeling session, so I thought I'd share it. Basically, what I downloaded, which I thought was ties to some of the last content that I've been sharing on the concept of mirroring. He basically says that heaven is in the heart of all men, and I don't think it's like gender men, but humans. So heaven is in the heart of all men, a place of being, not a physical destination. Find your heaven by letting go of pain and those personal emotions that bind you in handcuffs to a dense reality. Free your passions and joy, and soon your outer world will reflect your inner world. So again, that just goes on to remind certainly me and all of us that it's really sort of what we're thinking, feeling on a daily basis that will be mirrored back to us in this kind of holographic quantum reality. And it seems, especially based upon what the new systems around the financial systems where we could be heading, that's going to play out probably even more. So I hope that was interesting for you. It was some, obviously questions I was curious about because of, some of the stuff that's been changing or possibly could change in our world, and wanted to share it. If you liked the content or liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if it resonates with you, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks. Bye.